Hi. Oh my gosh, it has been a long time. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Mackenzie Jump, and I am sorry that it has been so long, but I do infertility videos here on YouTube, and my intention was to do a little bit of lifestyle stuff, but it just kind of took over as full infertility. If you are new here, I have PCOS. My husband and I have been trying to conceive for over 3 years now. There's just many things, but you can learn all about me in my previous videos and the different treatments we've been through and all the things. But I was sitting on the couch like 10 minutes ago, interacting with some people on Instagram that have followed my journey, and I was like, man, I wonder how long it's been since I've made a video, because the last video I made, my intent was to become more active again on YouTube, and here we are 4 months later. When I saw that it was 4 months since my last video, I kind of wanted to do like one of those things like against a wall, partially because why would I say I'm coming back if I'm going to take 4 months to make a video? But a lot has happened. Oh my gosh. So just to keep everyone up to speed, we had hit a point in our infertility where we just needed a break, mentally, physically, all of the things, financially. And so we took one, also because we knew we were going to get our certification to be foster parents. And that was kind of creeping up, and I just wanted us to go into that with an open mind, nothing else weighing on us, so we could put all of our attention towards that. And it has been nuts. It's been absolutely nuts. So a little update on that. We got licensed in September of 2021. Finally got licensed after all of our classes and stuff. And we initially went into, when we went into getting licensed, you kind of have an idea of the age range, gender of children, if you're open to siblings, that kind of thing going into it. And then you kind of make your final decision at the very end after you're certified, before they put you on the open bed list. For me, foster care was a way of growing our family, whether permanently or temporarily. And I was kind of wanting to fill the void of wanting a baby. So going into our classes, I was definitely the woman who struggled with infertility, and I wanted 0 to 3. My husband grew up with his mom fostering, so he kind of experienced it on a different angle, and he was way more open to older kids than I was at the beginning. For him, it was definitely a want and need to provide for children who are older, and just set good examples for them, help them to be the best that they can be. So he was always open to older kids. So as we went through classes, after the first couple weeks, I'm like, okay, I think I want to up our age range to 0 to 6. So then it was 0 to 6 for a while. And then, we get in a little bit more, and we're a couple weeks from classes being done. And I'm like, okay, like 0 to 13. And when I tell you that my perspective on being a mom changed through those classes, would be the understatement of the year, because I think I've said this before, but at some point during our infertility journey, someone asked me if I wanted to be pregnant or if I wanted to be a mom. And that question really, really resonated with me. And especially when we went through the courses for foster certification, I was just constantly thinking about that question at the back of my brain. And you learn about all these children who are 8 years old up until they age out at 18, and they're forgotten about. There's a stigma that kind of hovers over their heads that, they're going to be bad children, and they've already, gained bad habits, and it's just a harder age. It's just something that people fear, and it's a legitimate fear, because you're taking in young adults at that point. You're not taking in little children who are more impressionable than older children who have already kind of become into themselves. So as we learned about all these kids that needed homes, and there were no homes for teenagers or, tweens, or the 8 to 10-year-old spot, my heart broke into a million pieces, and I just had this like moment of clarity where I looked at Jerry and I said, I don't care what age. I have no, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever age we get called about, I'm okay with. Because, I don't know what's happening. My hair is darker. Anyways, I just wanted to help. I just wanted to love whatever child needed loved, and do anything we can to help the kids, whether they were going through reunification and they were going to go back home to their families, or if maybe the case goal was adoption. Like, I wanted to help, and I really kind of saw where Jerry was coming from with that. So anyways, we got our license and we went on the open bed list on a Friday. And that weekend, I just happened to be out of town for a dealer show or a dealer meeting for one of the brands at my work in Kansas City, which is like 3 hours away from here. And I got a call Sunday morning about a 12-year-old girl who was needing a home. And it was awesome. All these kids have been through so much, and the trauma is unbelievable. And their stories are sad and heartbreaking and lonely, but also inspiring because they made it through and are continuing to work through everything. And when I asked a little bit more about her, and she told me her name, which is my name, just a little bit different, I was like, is this not a sign? Like, anyways. So I left my meeting early. I drove back home. I picked her up that afternoon. We brought her home, got her all settled in. I got her signed up for school the next morning, and she started school on Tuesday. And it has been a roller coaster, and that will be something else that I'll be bringing into my channel is, the foster care world, the good, the bad, all of it. You can't share a lot about their experiences or about their case or anything like that, so nothing will be specific. I will just say that we don't plan on her going anywhere. So hopefully at some point I can share a little bit more, or if she's willing to share a little bit more, that would just be really neat. So it's been great. So she's awesome. She's hilarious. So on to the infertility update. So we took a break, we got certified, we didn't do any treatments or anything like that, no medications. Of course, your girl doesn't flippin' ever have a period, so I think I've had like one period since we stopped doing infertility treatments, which means I stopped taking Provera, which is what made me start a cycle every month. So, here we are in 2022, and we started our break in January 2021, and I've had one period. One. So that's been annoying. And once, oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. When I made my last video, I had mentioned that I had a surprise. And that surprise is, one day I got a call from one of my grandparents, and they were just kind of randomly asking questions about infertility like they do sometimes. And they offered to pay for us to do IVF. And to say I bawled like a baby, that's all I can say. I literally dropped to my knees and bawled like a baby. I couldn't talk. I was like hyperventilating out of excitement, sad. I mean, just all the emotions. I lost my mind. I absolutely lost my mind. And then it was just a go from there. So, I started researching different clinics to go to. I had kind of looked into IVF to some extent, mainly to find out the cost, what was involved, if I had to travel. The cost is all over the place depending on where you go and what kind of clinic you go to. And at some point, I think I just realized it wasn't going to be realistic for us, at least at the time, financially, to do it. So I think I just kind of blocked it out of my brain because I didn't think it would ever be an option, at least not for a long time. So I didn't want to dig into it a whole lot and then get my hopes up and feeling like, oh my gosh, I could have a baby possibly doing IVF, and then also knowing that we couldn't afford it. So it just wasn't something that I really obsessed over like we all do with everything infertility related. But I had done enough research where I knew the basics. I knew the requirements. I knew the options between a fresh transfer and a frozen transfer. I knew kind of ballpark cost. I knew the scheduling of it, kind of the layout, I guess you could say, of how it all works. And I kind of picked out a couple clinics that I liked, different clinics based off of price, and then different clinics based off of reviews, and then live birth rates and all these different things, but just kind of pushed it to the back of my brain. But when I got the offer and the opportunity to do IVF, I was full psychopath obsessive mode. And I think my brain was just waiting for me to be able to just flip that switch so I could obsess over something again. I was deep. Yep. I was deep in that obsession, and I'm still in it. Still in it. For sure. So, there we go. So, we had our consultation. I picked out a clinic. We decided to go with CNY Fertility. They have, I think, 7 different locations across the United States. My main reason for choosing them was cost. I was basically given a budget, and I wanted to work within that. And for the most part, in my opinion, I think most of the IVF clinics in the United States that have had a lot of patients have a pretty similar live birth rate. So, modern technology is great. And if a clinic pays for that technology and has the employees to be able to work it, I feel like making a decision based off of finances and my ability to afford it is okay. Like, I'm gonna have a good chance. IVF's expensive no matter what. If it doesn't work, it still sucks no matter how much you spend, but it sucks a little bit less if you spend less. And that's just the route I went. So if you don't know about CNY, they advertise being the cheapest IVF clinic in the United States. They technically do IVF for $39.95. Now you have to pay for your medications, any add-ons that you get, and monitoring is all separate. But that is most definitely the cheapest I have found anywhere. I know a couple people who actually had been to CNY and had a success with them. The one downfall that I just read from reviews and listened to other people talk about was, since they are so cheap, they have a lot of patients, a lot of people that come through there because of that reason. So you sort of become a number. You don't really get that as much one-on-one interaction and the ability to call them and talk to the same person every time. So how their facility kind of works is, you do your consultation. They have a team of nurses that help you through your process. They take really good notes on your charts. So when you do call in, you get whatever nurse is available at that moment. They review, your portal and then tell you the next step. So I would like a more personal relationship with nurses or people that I'm doing something like this with. But since I am traveling, you can actually do your own, you can choose the facility you want to do monitoring at. So the monitoring would include ultrasound and stat blood work. So since I was traveling and I could choose that, then I knew I could use my local clinic that we had been to the last couple of years that I absolutely love. And that was my deciding factor for me. I could still be involved with the people that I know, that I trust, and I already have a relationship with, and then also taken advantage of the cheaper cost of CNY. So I knew I was in good hands with the people I go to now, and they would get me everything I need and help me through the process. And they have patients and do a lot with patients who go through CNY for IVF anyway. So they've been through it. I knew they'd help me. They're absolutely incredible. And I was like, let's do it. So I made my consultation in December, and then they basically sent me all the information that I needed. And I'm going to make a whole separate video on the consultation for those that are interested in what to expect, the questions to ask, the questions they ask, and just give as much advice as I can based off of my experience. So we had our consultation in December. We told them that we were wanting to hopefully start sometime in March. I know, it's literally like 3 weeks. Oh my God. We're wanting to start sometime in March. So you have all this testing that you have to do or have to have done within a year of your consultation. So luckily we were within like a month of that cutoff, and they accepted a lot of the stuff that we did already. And it's just a bunch of labs. I'll make a video about that too. It's a bunch of labs. It's a couple different tests, making sure your tubes aren't blocked, that kind of thing. So we got all that pretty much done. All I have to do at this point is just upload a couple things that my husband and I signed. And then you schedule a baseline ultrasound and blood work. Doesn't have to be stat blood work. Just so they can see everything, how thick your uterus lining is. In my case, since I don't have a period on my own, it's something that they'll look at to see if I need to take Provera to induce a cycle, just to kind of have a fresh start. And that's Monday. Like, today's Friday, so 3 days from now, I'm getting my baseline and my labs done. So just different hormone levels and stuff to see where I'm at. And then what happens is the nurses at CNY review everything, make sure that my body is ready to start taking medications. And that's it. Oh my God. I could literally cry thinking about it. And I sound, again, like a psychopath for saying this, but am I the only one that has taken a break from infertility and miss the kind of chaos of it all? Like, when you're going through infertility treatments, you have something to do like every day or every other day. The beginning of your cycle, you go in for a baseline ultrasound if you're taking medications, and you start your medications and you take those for 5 to 12 days, and then you do monitoring in between there to make sure your eggs are growing, and then you have to time the trigger shot, and then once you time the trigger shot, then you have to time intercourse or doing your IUI, and then once you go do that, then you sometimes still take medications, and you wait 2 weeks and you find out if you're pregnant. And if you're not pregnant, then you start all over again, and it's just like bam, 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 right in a row. Everything is just go, 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 go all the time. And you're always taking ovulation tests and checking your temperature and taking pregnancy tests and watching for symptoms. And it's just, you're always paying attention to something or doing something or scheduling something. And in the moment, it's overwhelming and it's a lot to do and it's stressful and you have to make sure you're thinking about all the different things. But for me, after taking the break that we had, I very quickly missed that. And I think it all stems down to when you're going through infertility treatments and when you're doing all these things and taking all these medications and doing all these tests, it's like a subconscious reminder that in that moment, there is an opportunity for you to be pregnant or become pregnant. And so that's just like the drive in the back of my head that makes it exciting. And that's the nice thing about even when you aren't pregnant after the 2-week wait, you're right into the next cycle of trying again. And I don't know, there's just something that is addictive about that to me. The hope and the excitement and the feeling and the opportunity of being pregnant or becoming pregnant that you just get addicted to. And I miss that. I absolutely 100% miss that, because if you're like me and you have like a very, very small chance or slim to none chance of getting pregnant naturally, there's not, like, you don't get those happy moments or those excited or hopeful moments, because you just like know it's not going to happen unless you're doing treatments. So I missed it very quickly. You know, the first couple months were awesome and we needed it to kind of reset. And then we had the distraction and the fun of doing the foster certification. But man, it wasn't long before I was like, oh, babe, when can we kind of start trying again? And then we got our foster daughter and, you know, we just had fun and been, you know, enjoying her since then. And then the opportunity came about IVF and we just jumped on it. Well, I 100% jumped on it, and Jerry's like, here we go. I'm like, here we go. So Monday I go in for that, and they'll let me know if I need to take Provera, and if I don't, then we are going to schedule to start medications the first week of March, and I'm so excited. I actually called and paid for my medications today from a pharmacy that works with CNY. And there are so many medications. It's insane. So many medications. I asked them what the medications were because I thought I was going to shop medications and get everything the cheapest as possible. And after like the 5th or 6th one, and then they kept going for like a minute, I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Because it was still cheaper than what I had kind of read just based off of like national averages and stuff like that. So another video I will make once I get all my medications in and a list of all of them, I will 100% go over them. I also did do a lot of research on how to save on medications, and there's 2 really great opportunities out there that basically you see if you qualify for a discount, and the discounts typically only apply for the injectables because a lot of the pill forms, whether your insurance covers infertility or not, they do cover some of the pills that they prescribe, but the injectables are what are 1, most expensive, and 2, there's a lot of them. So I wanted to see how I could get a discount any way I could, and I did qualify. So that makes a huge discount. Saving money's in the brain. So got my medications. I'll be getting those on Tuesday. I'll probably make like an unboxing video about that because I'm stoked. And I'm pretty sure they send you those like little tiny red boxes that you put needles in. And those are the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm excited. So yeah, we will hopefully start the IVF process first week of March. We decided to go to the clinic in Colorado Springs. It's the closest to us distance-wise, but also it's like we're going to have to go somewhere for it, then might as well be somewhere cool. And we did decide to do a frozen transfer. The reason being is if for some reason our first cycle or transfer doesn't work, at least we will have frozen eggs after that, which I know you can freeze your eggs even if you do a fresh transfer, I think. I don't know. But 1, I wanted the option to freeze the eggs and do it again at some point. And 2, another, I guess, benefit of it is if for some reason my body reacts negatively to all the medications and maybe my uterus lining isn't where it needs to be, or physically my body just isn't the best it could possibly be for implantation or to host a little baby, then we have the option to get the egg retrieval done, go back home, take Provera, start my period, whatever, and then prep my body just for the transfer. And there's, whether you do a fresh or a frozen transfer with CNY, you get all the medications you need no matter what. So I know the medications for a frozen transfer are like very minimal. There's not a whole lot of stuff you have to take if you've already done your egg retrieval because you aren't having to grow your eggs and everything. So it just felt better. And I read a couple different studies that for women under 35, there's a higher percentage of a live pregnancy or getting pregnant if you do a frozen transfer for whatever reason. I don't know. Now, genetic testing is something we've talked about. It is expensive, and I hate to say that I don't know. I hate to say that we're not going to do it based off of cost because I know it's something that could really help the possibility of having a healthy pregnancy and having a pregnancy in general. But at the end of the day, like, if it's going to cost that much more money, it's just not something that we can do because, like I said, we are working within a budget. So, I don't know. That's something that we're kind of going to play by ear a little bit. There's a couple other things that you can choose to do with your embryos as far as testing goes to make sure it's like the best quality and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff we are going to do because it's not near as expensive, but you know, that's it. So freaking excited. It seems surreal, to be honest with you. Like, I just never thought that I would be in this position, and if we would ever get the opportunity to do it, I didn't think it would be now. I thought it would be months, years from now when we could afford it on our own. And I don't know, I'm just so excited. And you know, with our plan to have our foster daughter hopefully stay with us forever, and how great she is and her excitement level of us doing this, it all seems to be meshing. And I'm just happy and excited. So I will say this with a grain of salt, but I plan to make more videos because there for a while I just didn't have anything to talk about. You know, I had all my videos and all my information to make videos with supplements that I took and suggestions for this and suggestions for that, but I just like lost a little motivation there for a while because I think I was just sad that we weren't doing treatments, and you know, I don't know. But now I've got some stuff to talk about, and my supplement game is strong right now. And if you have been watching my videos, you know that I do not take supplements or medications well at all, in the sense of sticking to a routine. Like, I can't tell you the amount of money I've spent on supplements with the intent of taking them, and then I don't, because I suck at sticking to it and remembering. But I've done good. I'll be proud. Yeah. So there we go. That's my update. As usual, it's like almost 30 minutes long. What's new? Hopefully, since I've got that update out of the way, I can make shorter videos more frequently, just updating you guys on the process, kind of like taking you along the journey almost as it happens. Of course, once we get to the point of transfer, I might postpone a little bit, because if it does turn out and we do get pregnant, I want obviously a chance to tell our family and everything before posting it. And also, on the other hand, if it doesn't work out, I want to give us a little bit of time just to work through that. But regardless, I am so thankful for the opportunity, and I'm so excited. And here we go. So follow me on Instagram. I post a lot about infertility related stuff on there. I interact with a lot of people on Instagram, and I love it. I've just kind of started using it as my platform for infertility stuff because it's easier, and I don't know, I just do. So go follow me on there. My Instagram handle is Mackenzie Jojo. No, it's Mackenzie JJ. So go follow me on there. Leave me comments down below. Any questions you have about the process so far, ask them down below, and I will make a video here pretty soon about the consultation leading up to it and everything I had in preparation, as well as a video of the unboxing of medications. So as always, I love all of you guys, and the support through this platform has always been awesome, and it's got me through a lot, so I hope I can help one of you guys out there. Okay.